What's happening, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with the POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community on the planet. Today is Tuesday. It's February 27th. Hope you're doing awesome. And in this video, we're going to be doing some earnings prep for Green Thumb. Their earnings are going to be tomorrow. We're going to take a look at the estimates, what to expect in terms of analyst forecasts for revenue and EPS. I'll give my thoughts and opinions, and at the end, we'll do some technical analysis. But spoiler alert, there is a bullish continuation pattern that signals we could be seeing higher from here. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like and subscribe if you're new. All that good stuff. You can tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, if you want to follow us over on X, formerly Twitter, the handle for that is @GroupPow. I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never, ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I write or anything that I say. And full disclosure, I do own Green Thumb in my portfolio. It was a recent addition of mine. And if you haven't seen my MJ portfolio for 2024, I recently did an update with my entire MJ Holdings portfolio and with percentages. So you can check out that video. But Green Thumb Industries to hold fourth quarter and full year 2023 earnings conference call on February 28th, 2024. So that'll be tomorrow. And they will be releasing the results for the full year and fourth quarter after market close. Their conference call will also be held Wednesday, February 28th. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And there's the details to call in. And a lot of people always ask me, how come it says Q4 2023, we're in Q1 2024? It doesn't actually mean the calendar year. Different companies have different fiscal year ends. So it's the fiscal Q4 2023, right? And if we take a look at the analyst estimates here, something that I've been doing, if you've been following these earnings prep videos for a while now, something that I've been doing is adding all of the analyst estimates. So if we go to investing.com, you can see here they're forecasting slightly lower than what we came in actual last quarter at 275.4 million. And we actually beat big time. They were only forecasting 257.26 million. So Green Thumb does like to beat analyst estimates. And then for revenue this quarter, they're expecting 270.31. So an increase from their prior estimate, but it's actually lower than the actual result that they produced last quarter. And then also EPS is forecasted at positive 0.0415. Then if we go over to TradingView, you can see here they're estimating 270.458 million and then positive 0.046 for earnings per share. And then if we go over to Moomoo platform, you can see here financial estimates, revenue based on 12 analysts. I like how they tell you how many analysts as well. And again, USD 268.366 million. So they're forecasting a little bit lower than consensus, it seems. So then EPS, they're forecasting positive 0.051, so they're expecting a little bit better outcome there. But what I like to do is take this one and investing.com, and I add them all up and then divide by 3. So analyst estimates, the consensus of Wall Street is 269.71 million in terms of revenue. And then for EPS, same thing, just add all 3 of them, divide by 3. They're forecasting 0.0461 for earnings per share, EPS. So if we come in way higher than that, if it comes in at like 0.1 or 0.2, obviously that's going to be a huge beat. And if revenue comes in at like 280, 290 and a huge beat, stock's probably going to rocket. If it comes in at 250, 260, and we come in at like positive 0.02 or positive 0.03, and we have a pretty big miss, then we'll expect price to go down. So those are the numbers that you can take a look at on the screen. You'll be watching for these to either beat or miss into tomorrow, but let me know in the comment section below. Do you think they're going to beat those numbers, or do you think they're going to miss? Personally, I think they have a good chance at beating. They have they're known to do that, so they have a tendency of beating. So I'm going to lean bullish here, and the reason why I'm leaning bullish is because we actually have a weekly bull flag as well. If we go from our high to the low, we had a brief higher low, and we are trying to confirm another higher high. We're in a weekly uptrend as well, so we had our low of the bounce. Our low of the dump, high of the bounce, higher low, and higher high. So once we broke 1208, that confirmed a weekly uptrend. Even if you just entered there on the weekly uptrend confirming, that would have been a nice swing trade of about 17-18%. But then we formed another brief weekly higher low. And if you go from your low here to the high with the fib tool, you can see here we held the 0.382 fib there, or the 40% pullback. You generally don't want to pull back more than 40%. And there was a big lower wick there. So that shows lots of buying pressure. And we held a back test perfectly of weekly EMA 12. So that's been a nice support here ever since we confirmed the weekly uptrend. And we're actually pretty much confirming the weekly bull flag now. So we had key resistance at 1430. We needed to break that to confirm. We hit 1430 again, and then 1424. So essentially it's a double top, almost a triple top, you could say. So it's very clear resistance. So in order to confirm this weekly bull flag, we need to get above 1430. So we came very close. So it was a double top. I thought we broke above it, but double top. So clear resistance is 1430. Break that, then we confirm the weekly bull flag, and you take your measured move here from the low, high of the bounce, move it out to the 0.382 fib. And it says we're targeting about 1850. So again, this is looking pretty decent here. In order to negate this bull flag and not see upside continuation, it's all about support and resistance. So key support is there at 1220. Lose 1220, and we're no longer expecting this weekly bull flag and continuation. And then break, like I said, 1430, and that confirms the weekly bull flag and higher high. And we should see that continuation. And if we do break 1430, that's about an upside of another 30% from here. So I'm going to go with beat tomorrow. But again, it's all about support and resistance. It's not about having a crystal ball. We have key supports and resistance to be looking at going into tomorrow. If we lose 1220, then we can more than likely expect to pull back to around EMA 26, which is at around 1146, and then $10 psychological is the next support. Resistance, key resistance to break is 1430, and then like I said, we break that, confirm the weekly bull flag, and continue the weekly uptrend. So it's looking pretty decent here. And then in terms of the monthly time frame, we're in a monthly uptrend as well. One of the first names to do so. Cureleaf, AYR were one of the first, and then GTBIF followed suit. We can see we had our low, high of the bounce, higher low, and then higher high. So once we broke 1249, that confirmed the monthly uptrend, and we're gearing up for a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. You can see here that is actually never really happened. Yeah, this will be the first time in history that we confirm a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So this thing could absolutely explode here over the next few months as we look to rescheduling. Schedule 3 is the most likely scenario. 280E would go away. That means that, $300-400 million that they paid to the government, just under 280E tax burden alone would hit their bottom line, and it's already profitable. So just imagine what's going to happen. And then we get safer banking uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. We get Florida full-blown adult use into 2025. Germany's coming online. It's going to be a slow rollout, but all the signs are pointing to the rest of the EU following suit. There's tons of trial phases going on as well in like Switzerland and all around the EU. So it's probably going to be a year or two. Those trials are going to be about a year or two. So I'm not expecting that much hype from international, but we don't need it. We have enough here in Canada in our own backyard in the United States. For those of you, I'm in Canada, but the MJ Act is up for review here in Canada as well. We could see some improvements to excise taxes and product labeling and marketing, distribution, all that good stuff. So it's looking pretty decent here. And then, like I said, with all those other catalysts, Pennsylvania as well, oh man, I'm excited. And we could even get full-blown descheduling. We'll see. I don't think that's the most likely scenario. I think the most likely scenario is the DEA approves Schedule 3. And at some point we get that announcement over, between now and the end of April. That's what I'm thinking. The charts are looking like that. If I read the tea leaves, that's what it's looking like. We're looking like full-blown explosion mode into April and May. And then if we take a look at GTBIF here on the weekly time frame, we do have a little bit of a cause for concern. This is what I'd say it's like a 50-50 chance that we break down or we break up from here. Like there's no real confluence saying higher. So what I do is I look at technical analysis, and I don't, look at one pattern. I don't look at one indicator, one signal. I look at a confluence of things, a bunch of different data sets. So if 8 out of the 10 indicators that I usually follow are bullish, then I'm going to be bullish 80-90% of the time. If they're bearish, then I'm going to be bearish 80-90% of the time, right? So as of right now, it's pretty much a mixed bag. But again, it's all about support and resistance. So we just look at 1220 on the weekly time frame, like I mentioned, and then 1430 as key resistance, right? So lose 1220, probably heading back down to $11-10. Break 14, probably heading up to that weekly bull flag target, like I said, of around $18. And then we also have the 200 weekly moving average there at 1629, which should prove to be big resistance. And then we had prior price action resistance there at 1650 as well. But a lot of names trying to get back to their 200 weekly moving average. And I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if GTBIF were to be one of the ones that beat. It's one of those names that offers a lot of upside, or a lot of security. Like it's a pretty good safety net. Like we're not expecting massive upside either, though. For GTBIF to go back to all-time highs from here, how much? Let me zoom out to the monthly time frame. You're talking from current price levels. If you were to buy this and it goes back to all-time highs, that's only about a 200% move here. So $1,000 into $2,000. Or if you bought way down here, $7 or something like that, that's about 4x, right? $1,000 into $1,000. So you're not going to, get generational wealth unless you're holding for, 5+ years, in my opinion, on GTBIF or Green Thumb. But it's definitely one of the more safer plays out there, in my opinion. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a cause for concern here with the stochastic bear cross, and the weekly MACD is set up for a potential bear cross here as well. And we're testing the 10-week. If we were to see a weekly candle close under $13 this week, that would not be good. In my opinion, we would probably lose $12.20 after that. And like I said, head down to around that $11 to $10 mark. And then if we take a look at the daily time frame, we also have the 50-day moving average there at 1238, and the 100 at 1107, and the 200 at 960. So those are right around that $10 psychological, $11 that I was kind of thinking about if we lost 1220. But like I said, it's all about support and resistance. So we just watch those key supports at 1220 and then key resistance at 1430, right? So we'll see. Let me know in the comments below what you think they're going to do, if they're going to beat, they're going to miss. Always love hearing from each and every one of you. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. I love each and every one of you. Share the video if you think I earned it today, and we'll see you again on the next one.